Hello and welcome, guys and gals, to GGvision number 14 with me, Sebastian Sjöberg, on Monday the 17th of January. Today we're going to talk about some interesting things, dwell a little bit upon the Intel Extreme Masters in Kiev, Ukraine, that's taking place this weekend, as well as the amazing things that Jinro and the others did in the GSL over the past week, and talk about some various interesting pro gamer news around the community. Though, first of all, let me take some time to introduce the new sponsor of the show, Jinx Clothing. Jinx, as I'm sure you know, is a very well-known brand for geek and gaming flavored fashion and clothing. You can see Day9 wear it all the time on his show. And I've been working with them before, and now they have kindly agreed to be with us for at least the remainder of January, if not longer. And personally, I am very happy to say that I'm waiting for some new t-shirts, StarCraft t-shirts, to arrive through the mail. That will be very exciting, very fashionable, very handsome. And if you're interested in checking out their stuff, if you do so through the link provided here, polygonreview.com/jinx, you will directly help out the show just by browsing. So thank you for that, I appreciate it. Now, moving on to the good stuff. First of all, let me say that, as I promised, I talked to TLO this weekend after he came back from the Home Story Cup, which was one of the past weekend's bigger events, about talking to us before he went to Kiev. However, the Wonder Boy himself declared that he is not feeling too well and that he wants to be rested and in full force when he goes to Ukraine, which he'll be doing already on Wednesday, and he is feeling somewhat poorly right now. He does, however, promise to be back on the show soon after IEM Kiev, and of course we'll have a lot more to ask him then. And I'm greatly looking forward to see him cast StarCraft 2, because most casters are not pro gamers, most casters are not the best of players. They don't have to be, because if you're gonna be good at casting, you can't spend enough time laddering or doing all the many other things you need to do in order to become a full-fledged pro gamer. TLO, however, he might be new to casting, but he's a very versatile guy, and I think he'll do an excellent job. I'm very much looking forward to that. So we'll be looking into IEM more and more over this week, but TLO will tell us all about it after the event. And when it comes to Jinro, who fought one of the most intense and epic battles yet seen between Protoss and Terran, especially on Scrap Station this past Saturday. Okay, if you don't know what happened, go and watch it right now. Group D, GSL, MC versus Jinro, Game 5. Okay, you got it? Yes, watched it? Excellent. Jinro won over MC. He had to play him twice to move on through the group. And MC, of course, OGS MC, who is Jinro's teammate practically, OGS and Liquid living in the same house, practicing together, who won GSL Season 3, who is a Protoss powerhouse like none other. Jinro was not the favorite going into that match. Even I doubted my fellow Swede that he could do it. And it was no easy fight. It was a quite unique one. Even Tastes and Artosis were quite dumbfounded, especially when the carriers were brought out. Now Jinro won, and I have congratulated him on his victory, and he wants to tell you, through me, that he's looking forward to be on the show, but he wants to do so only after he has won it all, or been stopped while trying. So, Jinro won't be on the show yet. He's fighting again on Wednesday the 19th. He will be facing Idra again, and there will only be one white guy moving out of that group this time. And maybe we'll talk to him after that. If we won't, it means he won and we'll be advancing even further. I'm sure we can respect that Jinro wants to spend his time practicing and tell us all about that once it's over. So I'll get back to you on that. Other pro gamer news. Team Liquid is of course hosting a third incarnation of their legendary Star League, the TSL, the Team Liquid Star League. Old schoolers out there will remember the two previous Star Leagues that took place in the Brood War era, of course, and they were by far the best online tournaments ever held in the non-Korean scene. And I have no doubt that the TSL3 with StarCraft 2 will set a new precedence for online tournaments, because there are many of them out there and many of them are good, but they are small time. It's like a mom and pop store compared to what the TSL3 will be, already is in the qualifier stage where we are at now. We all remember, don't we, the HDH Invitational hosted by Husky Starcraft and his friend HD. Took place during the beta. Now that was a cool tournament. That will be nothing compared to TSL. Team Liquid has the credentials and they will make an excellent event. Of course, the reigning champion is Liquid Tyler, formerly known as Noni, who walked home with quite a lot of money from the last time and now will be defending his throne in StarCraft 2. Recently, another set of qualifiers were concluded with Swedish player Naniwa succeeding. Now there's an interview with him, there's a lot of info up on Team Liquid, and I recommend you check it out. Maybe you have not familiarized yourself with the TSL format yet. Well, I'm telling you, it's time to get excited. I've been getting a lot of requests for an interview with Naniwa, and I'm looking into that. I'm very curious. He's a quickly rising player, many saying that he is very, very top indeed, and I want to talk to him about StarCraft 2 in general and TSL in particular, so do look out for that. In other interesting old school going new school news, legendary German pro gamer Mondragon has officially announced that he is joining equally legendary team MYM. Now Mondragon might be a new name for many of you who are not old Brood War fans, because whilst Mondragon was one of the most long-lasting and renowned players in Europe and in the whole Western scene, he has not yet officially transitioned into StarCraft 2. Apparently he is very good at the game, and he's seeded well up into TSL3 actually because of his previous victories, but we don't yet know exactly how good he is in StarCraft 2, but I have no doubt he is a Zerg genius still. But the interesting thing is that Mondragon, who for years led the pro team TOT, Templars of Twilight, is now not only joining MIM as a pro gamer, but as a team leader and organizer. And Mondragon knows a lot about that. You can expect him to lead the MIM StarCraft 2 team to many victories and be an instrumental figure in European StarCraft 2. So if Mondragon is a new name to you, do check out the GosuGamers article. Good things are to be expected. Speaking of good things, starting with Warcraft 3, now going StarCraft 2 all the way to Korea, Australian pro gamer mOOnGLaDe, which is a name that old Warcraft 3 fans out there will remember, has recently told ESFIworld.com that he is one of the many non-Korean pro gamers who will go there very soon to fight with and among the best. And this interview is available both in text and audio, so I do recommend that you check it out. It's nice to see how the whole strategy esports scene is now coming together, from StarCraft, Brood War, Supreme Commander, many other titles, into StarCraft 2 and going to the Holy Land of South Korea to do it. It's going to be an epic spring and an epic year. Which leads me to the main topic of the day, which is really more of a discussion, because later in this week, hopefully on Saturday, I will release a special episode, an ESFI GGvision episode, and in the new episode, which will be released later this week, I am going to talk about, as I see it, the future and what it may bring and how we can affect that. So I'd like to pose some questions to you guys. Because right now, the StarCraft 2 scene in the West, all around the world, but English speaking wise, is exploding, it's growing. You see people broadcasting StarCraft 2 on YouTube like never before. Day9 is a huge celebrity, and many others are following in his footsteps. People are suddenly making money from doing stuff that a year ago they did just for free and for fun of it. But we should remember that this whole passion, at least when you look at StarCraft as a spectator sport, if you're not an active player but still want to enjoy it by looking at pro games and just having a good time as an observer, as a spectator. This all comes from what existed for years before StarCraft 2 came around, which was a YouTube-based foreign community that was centered around Korean StarCraft, who casted in English almost every game that was broadcasted on Korean TV. More than you could ever watch, basically. And then, back in those days, foreign StarCraft was nothing. Only when Team Liquid organized their Star Leagues did we have anything worthwhile to watch from foreign players. It was all about the Korean pro scene. Now with StarCraft 2, with the beta, which is less than a year ago, that suddenly changed. Suddenly we got foreign players to watch and tournaments, and everything just took a whole new turn, which is all good and well. But now the GSL is broadcasting to us in English almost every day of the week, dishing out stellar content. And I'm not saying this to be biased or anything, I'm just declaring that the GSL is offering more StarCraft in a better package than any other can. So, as I see it, we are slowly returning to normal, that Korean StarCraft sets the standard and the rest of the world will have to adapt to that. So what I'm wondering, and what I'd like to ponder with you guys, is how do you look at this? Do you see that the foreign world, that is everything that's not Korea, is simply destined to follow in the Korean footsteps? There's been some interesting articles out on the web recently. Should we try to go more Korean, we being the foreign scene, or should we try to keep our uniqueness? If so, how to do that? I mean, I take great pride in watching lots of StarCraft every day, but I hardly have time to watch YouTube commentaries anymore because there's so much GSL around, and I want to watch the best and I want to report of the best to you guys. Supply and demand. YouTube casters will have to find a way of competing with the GSL, I think, because just casting random pro games with TLO versus Idra or whatever won't just cut it anymore. I think what makes the GSL so interesting is not that they have cool intros and various cameras and Sony Ericsson sponsorship, it's that they build upon a history, there's a legacy. You know that in the last round or the last season, MC was facing Jinro and then that guy took him out, and now they're facing each other again. There's rivalry, there's revenge, there's animosity, there's pride, and that just expands the experience of one match beyond what's happening in the battlefield. And if you can tell that story as a normal YouTuber, I think you can create something new, because nowadays I think it's quite chaotic out there and there's a lot that could be done better. Because the main reason why the Koreans had a better show than the foreigners back in the boudoir era was not just that they were a lot better, which they were of course, but the fact that we knew that it was an ongoing struggle that would continue over seasons and seasons. Now that is what dreams are made of. That's my 5 cents. I'd like to leave it to you guys. How do you see the scene progressing? How do you see the YouTube scene developing from where it is right now? And is the GSL simply taking over the market? Tell me what you think and help me make an interesting ESFI GGvision for Saturday. Now, that's all for today, folks. Thank you for listening and tuning in. If you like it, do subscribe it, give it a thumbs up. Share your love to the sponsor if you want some new cool t-shirts. I am Sebastian Sjöberg and I will be back on Wednesday. See you then. GG and out.
I don't think there's such thing as a game being too easy when it is as complex as StarCraft 2. I mean, if it would be too easy, why are you the person who says it? Why aren't you the best player in the world? And obviously, it is still very, very complex. And